Hey, girlfriends, how are you today? I am live with Ashley Borromeo. Did I pronounce your last name correctly?
You
I've been
did.
practicing actually. you know, we are going to have some fun. Ashley, I have been looking forward to this little chat with you for some time because we're going to be talking about having a little bit of fun in our lives and what can that maybe look like and all kinds of good stuff. So first of all, let me just say hello. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so happy to be here. I've been like counting down the days to have this chat with you. I've been watching all the chats and I'm like, oh, I love it all. I love it all.
Yeah, so many good conversations. And I was looking earlier today, as we do our social media posts and all those kinds of things, and it came back to me a phrase that we used to use from the very beginning of when I started business. Life is so much richer with your girlfriends by your side, and that's really, that just really sticks with me because as we come and we record and we do all these things, we have a magazine. It is just so much more fun knowing that you have a girlfriend who's got you, that are walking with you or whatever that looks like, that she's there for you. And it just warms my heart to have you here. And so I'm going to just read your bio just real quickly. Ashley is a movement and mindset coach and the founder of Tap Fit Fam, where she helps women worldwide reconnect with joy, confidence, and self trust through simple, expressive movement rooted in her dance framework. With over 20 years as a dance educator, Ashley blends neuroscience, somatics, and playful rhythm to help women 50 plus feel alive, brave, and beautifully present in their bodies. Yes, and I have, had the opportunity to walk through some of your things as you are a featured contributor, mentor in our Brave magazine. So tell us a little bit about you. You've got a big family, and your kids are off in the background somewhere there as you homeschool, and you have a little one, and all these different things, and you bring it all together.
Yes, all of the things. I love it. So you nailed it when life is so much better when you have your girlfriends by your side. I feel like that's the case for me. Life is so much better when I'm with my kids and my girlfriends. But I homeschool my kids. I have a 14-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 5-month-old. And I started my Tap Fit Fam business, as you mentioned, Tap Fit Fam. I started that 3 years ago, and it was after a loss of a miscarriage. And I decided, all right, I got to make purpose of this. I gotta use my energy. I got to share my gifts with the world. There was just some healing that went along with that. And so many of the other women in this publication talk about so many amazing tools for healing. So I love this. But when I started it started out as like dance classes. And at first it started out as dance classes for families. I thought, okay, well, this is what we do and it works and it creates connection. It creates this little bit of like leading by example, because when you're a beginner at something, it's really fantastic when your kids can watch you be a beginner. Like they see us be so good at so many things, right? Regularly.
I never thought about that.
Right. So to be a beginner in front of your kids and to model learning. And so as a homeschool mom, I was like, how can I be the best homeschool mom? How can I model this? Well, I didn't need to be, I'm not the beginner at the dance thing. I just shared that with my kids, but I was the beginner at creating an online business. And my kids have very much been a part of it from the very beginning, watching me like stress over the tech, watching me like, messy imperfect action, guys. Here we go. Oh, mom messed up. Oh, this wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, so it's this whole journey, and I call it a dance. It's a dance through life, and that's how I literally live every day. Karen, is dancing through life. Every day is a dance. Like you can plan, you can have your best laid plans, right? And it's not going to go that way. It just isn't, especially when your kids are at this season. And even you have kids that are older. Like when they're older, it still doesn't go the way you want, right? So it's nope. It's staying flexible. And that's such a huge element of dance. And so my business has evolved over the past 3 years to be this incredible gift that it is to me every single day. And I work with adults, not families per se, although everyone is always welcome. I do have whole families. I just don't market it that way anymore because I realized as I started growing it, like so many adults don't play. So many adults need their joy. And are afraid to like embody what like movement can look like. They're just like so stuck. And I'm like, that's not cool. We have to model this for everybody watching, younger and older generations watching us. Like taking chances, taking just one step at a time, looking a little funny at first, feeling really funny at first,
Yeah.
like so on and so forth. So yeah.
And so one of the things that I really got out of this, because I'm walking through, I just, we design and we do all these things, but it's all your content. And one of the things that I think why I love this so much is that it gave me a space to kind of, like you said, be playful, but also to laugh at when I kind of made a mistake. You know how we usually beat ourselves up because we're in business and we're doing these things, or whatever it is in life. This actually gave me the permission to kind of go, whoops, I just did a wrong step, because part of this worksheet of walking through this is a little dance step.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to know how to dance, girls. So don't let that, go, oh, I can't do this. No, it gives you, I laughed and I was doing it just before we started. And I thought, this makes me smile.
Okay, that's all. Like, my work here is done. I'm done. I'm out. Like, that's it. That's all I want. So that's one of the things that I do focus on. I just don't ever usually say it a lot, especially to adults. Now, I do talk to my younger dancers in that way, that we are intentionally laughing when we mess up. Like, I'll tell them, like, hey, that was awful. Like, we all were a mess. That was not good. We're going to do it again. But wasn't it kind of crazy that, and we'll talk about it so we can make light of the mistakes. But in my adult community, this is work that we do. We have many of our members who have, from the minute that they started with me to where they are now, I hear it and I see it and I love it so much. It's like, it's priceless. It's priceless to me. When we learn how to be kinder to ourselves and laugh more.
Yes.
You're going to mess up. It's kind of funny. Like, oh, I messed up again.
Oh, I totally messed up on something yesterday, and I just like, oh, how you beat yourself up. So let's give the women here a little framework, if you will, because this isn't just about, we're not just talking about dancing. We are talking about a framework of walking through different things. And I love this quote that you said. It says, every step is an act of courage, a reminder that you're never too old to try something new, playful and beautifully brave. So you, in your dance, what, I forgot what it was called already. Your program that you have, you walk people through different steps, if you will, whether that be movement but also some mindset. So there's a mindset piece around this too. And we will get down, we're going to walk through a little bit of this, your resource here. And there is a dance step, which we will maybe get up and do just a little bit. But tell us just a little bit kind of where we are, like where maybe a woman is and what's her step. Kind of take us through your worksheet a little bit.
I love it. So Karen, thank you for this opportunity, because I know somebody needs to hear it. And even if just one person hears it, then you and I have both accomplished a lot today. So thank you. So dance. Okay. First of all, that word is going to make people feel a certain way. Sometimes it's going to make them feel like, yeah, that's not important. And so they just brush it off like dance, whatever. I'm busy, right? Like I'm adulting. Sometimes it brings you back to like childhood. Maybe you were in a dance class when you were a kid. And so you think of your little pink leotard or whatever it is, right? I actually grabbed intentionally a pair of my daughter's first tap shoes, like super sparkly and adorable. But, it can make you feel childlike. Dance can make you feel childlike. But the thing about dance and the mindset component is that the way you do one thing is actually how you do everything. I don't know who originally said that quote, but it's so true. And so if I say dance and we get up and we're dancing, and even if we're just freely dancing, there's no structure. I'm like, just dance, guys. And we're just kind of like, everybody's kind of doing something, or like, there's nothing structured. The way you are feeling, the way you are acting in that moment, I promise you are doing that in other ways of your life. So it's going to be either one, you could give two poops and you're just like, wow, it's wild and it's having a good time. Or you're the person who's like, I don't know what they're thinking. Oh, I look so silly. And you're just in your head. You're like, I don't know what to do. So the way I love to use the gifts that I have of dance and like the training I've had since a child is to show people that it's not just dance. I grew up as a technical dancer, like a competition dancer, trying to win all the trophies and always trying to get that score, like 0.2 more, 0.2 higher, like always. But I actually missed out on all of the beauty and the gift that dance is as a kid in that realm of just using it to create and to be the best version of me. I learned it from a structured discipline, and I learned some amazing things. I would never change it. But for adults, it's the mindset behind letting go a little bit, or let go, relinquish control, stop trying to control everything. Not needing to have things perfect before you go. Like, just take the step. Like, there's a step in the resource. It's a paradiddle. I'm sure right? So like, there's 4 parts to a paradiddle. And if we actually had tap shoes on, which most people don't, you would have like a toe and a heel tap. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm going to teach you that, like, we use the heel, then we brush the toe, then we step the toe, then we drop the heel. Everyone can do this. You can do it seated. So I teach the methodology, like what the step is, the technique, to empower you, because knowledge is power. But ultimately, until you get up and you do it, or until you sit down and you pick your feet up and you do it, you're not getting any better at it. And that's so obvious in dance or any sports or any sort of art, like music or instrument or, painting, creating in that way.
Yeah.
But the framework that I use is simple. And I use the acronym for the word dance, and it's decide what you want, like whatever it is you want. If you want more joy, okay, fine. You've decided you want more joy. If you've decided you want to have a more stable relationship, okay, decide what you want. Decide. Then A is aligned action. You have to take action. You can't just only sit by, right, and hope and wish and want and, like cry that you don't have and all. You have to take action, but it has to be aligned. So many people, especially in the online business world, say, oh, well, I want to serve people. But yet what they're doing is they're trying to do it like everybody else. Well, they do this and that's how they do it. Okay, is that aligned to you? Like, for me as a homeschool mom, I can't do what everybody else is doing. I take back. I know better. And so I'm going to stay in my lane and do what lights me up. So it needs to be aligned to you. You should feel joy in this. And then the other thing is in notice. That's where we check in with ourselves. Like, check in. You have to check in every day, right? Yeah. Sometimes taking a lot of aligned action and we're like, oh, we're doing the thing. But then what happens is when you stop noticing, you don't check in, you end up in like hustle culture. And then you're burning yourself out because you're like, I'm not even enjoying this anymore. This isn't even fun anymore. It was supposed to be fun. So we have to keep going back and forth. So notice, C is create. This is one of my favorite parts because every day is like an experiment. Every step is an experiment. It's not this locked in rigidity. It's this like, I don't know why, but I have 4 Sharpies right here. I don't know why these are on my desk. One of my kids was using them because all of the other ones are there, but it's like, oh, okay, well, today we're going to use green. It's just being more open, right? And maybe it's a color thing for you. Maybe it's a art process. Maybe it's creating opportunities for conversations, whatever create is for you. And then E is energy. And the energy, like, it just continues to expand when you dance through life. When you decide, when you take aligned action, when you notice, when you create, the energy is there. So that's the framework for the mindset component of how I show up.
Yes. And I love that. I'm so glad that we walked through that because, okay, that first one, a lot of times we'll say how we want to feel, but we don't decide that we want to feel that way.
Yes.
And so then therefore we can't take an action because we're almost waiting for something to come and happen. And so I'm so glad you were walking through this today because I think I'm the one who needs to hear this, but I'm really good at taking action, but I haven't always decided exactly what it is I want. And actually it came up in a conversation yesterday. Some of the other ladies in the magazine, we were having a conversation with Debbie and Jenny, and Jenny asked me, well, Karen, what do you want?
I love
that's what I love about this magazine is that it's making us think and go a little deeper, and challenging ourselves. And that's the beauty of all of this. And so as girls, I challenge you, take that one piece, decide what it is you want, whether it's joy or give us some other examples of it. Is it usually a feeling or are you talking about, something else?
It can be anything that is needing to come out for you. So a lot of times I also like to share in my coaching world, because I have a coaching container that has nothing to do with dancing. I mean, it always does in my life, but it's not dancing steps per se. And so in the coaching side of it, when we get to the decide part, when we're in that element of it's oftentimes we are deciding from a place of discontent. So if you're like, well, I don't know what I want to decide. I think I want more joy. I think this, I think that, then you're just trying to like come up with an answer. Like you're trying to like report back to your teacher. No one cares. This is for you. There is no right. There is no wrong. But I would say if you're not really sure, like, what does it mean to make a decision? Sit down and journal and go with what you're discontent with. And I give this example a lot. There was a time when I was at tennis one time with my kids, when the kids were taking tennis lessons at this racket club. And I remember looking, I have to laugh because it's really funny, this example. But I remember looking at one of the moms. Actually, there was like 3 of the moms standing there talking. And they were all dressed so nice. They were like, you know, put together. Their hair was not like this. It was, you know, like everybody looked so nice. They all had jewelry. They all had like super nice clothes on, branded, shoes were super expensive. And they were talking about vacations that they were planning, or that one had gone on and 2 were planning. And I was just overhearing while I was, in a sense, wrangling my toddler at the time and watching my kids do their things. And I remember thinking, wouldn't it be nice to just be able to plan a vacation and just go somewhere? And I heard that thought, like I caught myself. I was listening to them and I heard myself have this like discontent about, well, wouldn't it be nice, you know? And I think we've all been there, especially women. When you're in the thick of doing all the things, it's very easy to compare yourself to others. Okay. That's like, we can go into a rabbit hole of that conversation. But it was this moment where I realized, wait a second, you goof, you can decide to go on a vacation. Where do you want to go? And I sat with it and I let it kind of dance in my head. And I was like, well, you are not, like, I don't do victim mode. And I was like, you are not a victim. Like, I'm in my head, I'm like coaching myself. And I was like, well, where would you want to go? So that whole night, I remember like going back home and doing the homeschool thing. And I loved every part of my day. But there was this discontent about like, well, we need to shake things up. So you just listen to your discontents. And we ended up going on like a little family day trip that weekend. And it ended up being great. But listen to your discontent, because oftentimes it's so easy to say, well, I think that would be cool. I want that. But deep down, there's still this like, I would love that, you know? Listen to it, dance with it, listen, notice, create from that. Like, what's something you can do from that? So that's my tip for that one. But it is a difference between wanting, wishing, wanting, hoping. That's not the same thing as deciding.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And I love, so we have some ladies who, because we are recording live, Nicole says, decision is huge. We can course correct over time. And as part of that process, I love that too, because, you know, whatever that decision is, maybe it can course correct or be redefined as you go. It's not like, oh, you have to decide and that's the only thing that it can be. So
when you're dancing, there is nothing rigid in dancing. Like everything, you have to be flexible. You have to be able to like pivot and go somewhere else, pivot, turn. Like you have to be willing to take action before you know if it's right, and then course correct. Like that's just part of dancing. Absolutely.
Right. So, this is just so great. So let's talk a little bit about in the worksheet, there is a link there. And girls, this is just for fun. Let's just have some fun with this. You know, we talk about all these things, but you teach a little paradiddle. There's a little link, girls, whether you have the PDF form or the flip magazine, there's a live link and you just go tap that link and Ashley will walk you right through, and you've got your little tap shoe there to maybe demonstrate. And I actually did it with my hand tube, because there's all kinds of benefits for doing a little tap or it's any kind of dance step. Girls, you have to coordinate your mind and your limbs, you know, your feet and move. And so it's, as we age, dance is really great.
Yeah, okay. So there is actually so much science that's come out in the last 2-3 years about brain studies and scans while people are actually dancing. And actually dance is right now, not just tap dance, but dance. Tap is really high for the music side of what you were just saying, but dance in general, the science behind how this engages the brain and fires with the neuroplasticity and just allows the brain to keep growing versus shrinking, and all the benefits, it's phenomenal. And we talk about it more in the resource for sure. But the paradiddle is just one, like there's a whole little pattern that we do. It's a paradiddle and some shuffles and a little like counting. And it's not just learning where to articulate the feet and how to do it, but it's also that rhythm, that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, But like having rhythm behind what we do, what I love about it is I basically consider this my moving meditation. I can't sit still as much as some people. I've been a dancer since I was 6. So like I'm up and I go. I've got kids, so I'm up and moving to keep up with them often. So if you are one of those people that are sedentary, or you're like, I really do need to move more,
Yeah.
dance is such a great invitation for that too, because there's auditory feedback if you have shoes. And even if you don't have tap shoes and if you're not on a rug, if you're on like a hardwood floor or a tile and you have sneakers on, you can hear that like smacking the floor. That gives you auditory feedback. That is like, oh, I'm doing it. And what it does is it allows you to be present, fully present, and puts you in flow state then, because you can't be thinking about groceries and laundry and picking up somebody and, oh, I got to make that phone call. None of that exists when you're dancing. None of it exists. So it's kind of like a little mini vacation from reality without having to go anywhere or really do anything crazy. It's amazing.
It is amazing because I have been using it to get off of my computer because my eyes, I just get so tired after a while. And I love to move too, but you're busy doing a project, you got these things going. And sometimes it's like, I just need a total mental break. And when you're dancing, when you're trying to do this, you have to be like totally present because otherwise you'll trip,
Yes.
or you'll misstep or whatever.
Exactly. Yes. And so anybody doing the thing, I mean, you can do it seated if you feel like balance is an issue or whatever, but you can do it holding on to something. You don't have to be free in the middle of the floor. Like definitely keep yourself safe. But it's one of those things where, yeah, you are totally present. You're not multitasking things while you're doing this. No. It's so fun.
It is so fun. And so today I thought, okay, well, you know what? I could even do it with my hand and just this little rhythm. And I thought, oh, wow, isn't that great? So show us the paradiddle.
Yeah. So actually, let's all do it with our hand first. That's actually how I teach. And sometimes when we're in the classroom, I'll even have, especially if you have like some really hyper little ones, I'll be like, everybody sit down. Because imagine it's like a bunch of feet going. So we'll sit down and then we use our hand. So the back of your hand would be like your heel. Okay. And the fingers would be like your toe. Again, kind of mimicking the idea of like two different parts of the shoe. So if my hand here is the table, we go heel first. So just put your heel down, brush your toe back, brush, and then put the ball of your foot down. That would be like your step. And then drop your heel so your foot is flat. So there's 4 sounds. And I don't know if you guys would be able to see my feet. Now I'm wearing socks, okay, because it's cold. But if I'm up here on my treadmill, my walking treadmill, I don't know if you're going to see, but it's just like a heel down, heel, brush the foot back, step, and then heel. So there's 4 sounds. And when you're doing it correctly and you just keep going, I'm just going to tap right here so you guys can hear it. It just rolls. You just go heel, brush, step, heel, brush, step, heel, brush, step, heel, brush, step, and you just keep going. It's so addictive. It's true. I teach anybody a tap step. I always teach this one first. And I have taught this to people in grocery stores, like random strangers, because I'll be tapping. They'll be like, oh, are you tap dancing? I'm like, oh, yes, I am. Have you? And so we'll get in conversations and they'll be like, no, I've never tapped. I've always wanted to. And I'm like, let me teach you a step. It takes 2 seconds to teach this. It
does take 2 seconds. But what is the place where I started laughing is that, okay, so I finally kind of got it down. I've been practicing. It's not like I just picked it up, and I dance. So, but it's when you started going fast and I tried to copy it. I totally messed it up. And it was just, I'm like, okay, I'm not quite there yet. But
do you notice how much you're laughing as you even say that? Like, that's magic, Karen. Like, I tried to go fast and you just laughed because you're like, that was not what I thought it would be.
Yeah. And I just thought, okay, I'm not quite there yet, but yet. And but I'm a faster than I was. So, because, you just want to hear that, a little sound and it's musical. And so, and then you start picturing it in your head too. And, you can have this little visual and it's like, how often, do they tell you to do those things anyway, when you want to achieve something? So super fun.
Yeah, there's so much visualization in dancing. And one of the other metaphors that I use a lot in my coaching world is choreograph a life you love. And, with choreography, dancer, if you've ever been a dancer or done any sort of dance, line dancing like yourself or any other style of dance, oftentimes you just need to kind of see and feel it in your head before you can even get up, and you want to watch somebody do it. So you're like, that's what it's supposed to look like. Okay. And then you just do it, but it's choreographing it. Sometimes it's like, okay, where do I want to go? How do I want to do it? wish me luck. Then you just go.
Yes. I love that though. Choreograph a life you love, because a choreograph is something in motion.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not static. It's you're creating and you're adding and you're moving and all these different things. So I love that word. That really resonates with me, because I also love to dance. Like you said, I have started line dancing and just love it. So it's super fun. But
it's again, so good for the brain. Like all that pattern of, we're going to go to the right, then we're going to go to the left, then we're going to turn, we're going to repeat. There's a little break. That pattern and that repetition, again, especially as we're getting older, it helps one with the brain, right? As I mentioned before, it also helps with balance, just doing things from the right side to the left side. So many of us brush our hands with our right hand. And if you try to brush it with your left, you're like, I mean, the first time I did, I remember hurting my gums. It hurt so bad. And I was like, man, I'm very unbalanced, right side, left side. And so dance allows you to use both sides of your body, both sides of your brain. Just really important as we get older for fall prevention and strength. Confidence probably is my favorite topic, but yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. And then when we dance too, we tend to stand up straighter. So having better posture and using those muscles, our core muscles too. So many benefits. Boy, we're just going to be blossoming and dancing down the street and laughing and smiling and have a great energy. So ladies, I just want to encourage you to take a peek. We'll put all the links in the comments and all that kind of good thing. So you can actually take a little read through this and then let us know if you try the little paradiddle. Please let us know how it was for you, if it made you laugh, if it made you smile, if you were like, oh my gosh, or maybe you thought you never could do something like that.
Yeah. I feel bold enough to say, I promise you, you will enjoy it. I've never taught it to anybody, men, women, kids, older. I've never taught it to anybody and then be like, wow, I wish I wouldn't have learned that. Like, no one has ever said that. Everyone always laughs, always smiles and goes, oh my gosh, I just learned to tap. I can tap dance now. And I'm like, yes,
I can tap dance now. Now I maybe need to get tap shoes.
I mean, then you can just keep going. You can just snowball this to be your new hobby. And you know what? I can't think of a better one for us. So
yeah. Oh my gosh. So great. So is there anything you would like to leave the ladies with before we sign off?
Well, first I want to say thank you to you again, Karen. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is so much fun. And what I want to leave everybody with is your dance is supposed to look uniquely like you. So yes, if you learn a paradiddle, like, you know, from my video or the resource or anything, and you see somebody else dancing in any way, and you're like, wow, let that be inspiration to you and simply inspiration. Don't let it be a comparison, a mark of, oh, I could never do that. Be brave. Watch, be inspired by other people in all areas of life, be inspired by others, but then make sure that you keep taking one step forward and dance, decide, aligned action, notice, create, energize, so that you can dance through life and be your own choreographer. It's important.
Beautiful. And we are going to just leave it at that, ladies. We will see you next time. Ashley, thank you for joining us, and we will be dancing through life.
Thank you, Karen.